Hi, I'm Dave Finnegan, and I'm Bag-a-ling. Now, I want to teach you how to baggle too, because I know everybody's stuck at home with nothing to do, and this is a way you can do recycling and juggling at the same time. Not only are we going to do bag-a-ling, but you're also going to be able to learn sock-a-ling, juggling with socks. Now, these aren't just socks rolled up. I got to fix them first. So I'll show you how to do all of that. I'll show you how to not only do the basic baggle, but how to do 2 in one hand and 2 in the other hand. And for the little guys, we're going to start with one bag. So get a bag. Cut the pesky handles off of it. And here's what you do. You got to get used to throwing and catching a bag. It's different from throwing and catching a ball. When you throw a ball, your palm is up. When you throw a bag, your palm is out. So you throw and catch. Now, when you catch, you claw like a lion. So throw and roar. So when you throw, it's like waving goodbye. And when you catch, you claw like a lion. So you can say goodbye, roar, goodbye, roar, goodbye, roar. Now, after you can do that, first with one hand and then with the other hand, try some tricks. Like throw the bag up and clap your hands, or throw the bag up and turn around, or throw the bag up and do the Home Alone look. I like that one. Or throw it up and fly like a bird. So there are lots of tricks to do with that one bag in the air. Now, that's important because it teaches you how to get started. It teaches you how to throw and how to catch with the bag, because it's different from a ball. Once you know you can throw and catch a single bag, then it's time to move on to 2. Now, the way you do 2 is you throw one, when it gets up, catch it, and then you get another one, and you put it next to it. Now, you can do this on the floor, kneeling if you want. You pick up one, you pick up the other, pick up one, 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 pick up the other. Now you're juggling that quickly. Juggling is doing more objects than you are using hands. And so using 2 objects in one hand, you're juggling. So look at this right away. Put one deep in your hand, put one on your fingertips, throw one, throw the other, throw one, throw the other. They can circle in, they can circle out, straight up and down. Now, use your other hand. Do the same thing in your other hand. Great. Now, once you can do it in both hands, then you're ready to move on. Now, when I say move on, I don't mean to move on to 3. I mean to move on to a new pattern. The pattern you're going to learn is called infinity sign. Now, an infinity sign is like a figure 8 lying on its side. So I'll show you. You start by throwing across and catching down. Then you throw across the other way and catch down. So first you throw one way, and then you throw the other. And if you trace it all the way around, you'll see an infinity sign. First up this way, then up that way. And it's that infinity sign that is the basis for all juggling moves, because all juggling goes in that figure 8 pattern. It doesn't go in a circle. So a lot of people pick up 2 objects, and the first thing they do, this is wrong, don't do it, don't even practice it, don't even think about it, because you probably tried this in the past. They go like this: throw, push, throw, push, throw, push, throw, push. And one hand does all the work, and the other hand is just feeding that dominant hand. So instead, pick up 2 of your bags. Put one in each hand. Now you're going to make a big letter X in the air, and you're going to look at the top. So you throw the first one across. When it gets to the top, you look at it. You throw the second one in the opposite direction to make a big letter X across your chest. Throw one, throw the other, catch down, catch down. Throw one, throw the other, catch down, catch down. Now, I know it's very tempting to do this. Ooh, I'm going to catch that one first. So you go like this: throw, throw, catch, catch. And you reach across to catch. Don't do it. Instead, remember the color of the first one you throw, and that's the first one you catch. But you don't catch it with the same hand that threw it. You catch it with the other hand. So I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to go gray, white, okay? Gray, white, gray, white. So you do that with your bags too. Name your bags. So white, gray, gray. And make sure you can start on either hand. So I'm going to start on this side this time. White, gray, gray. Now notice that my throws are across and my catches are straight down. And the first one I throw is the first one I catch. So keep that in mind. Don't go like this: throw, throw, catch, catch. Because then you don't have any room to throw the third one, because the third one has to fit in the space. And the space is made by that pause. So you pause and look at the top. It's not woo-hoo, catch. It's throw, throw, catch, catch. Now you're almost ready for 3. But I do want you to practice that 2 in 1 hand again so you get the rhythm. Make sure you do it with one hand and with the other hand. That's your rhythm. You've always got to have 1 in the air. So I'll get the 3rd bag. Now here's how I do it. I start with the hand that has 2. The first one I throw goes across and I look at it. As soon as it gets to the top, I look at it and I throw the second one out of my other hand. Then I throw the 3rd. So I'll tell you what, I'll start with these 2 gray bags in this hand and look where they end up. I go 1, 2, 3, catch. I did 3 throws and they ended up in the other hand. Now I'll start with this hand. 1, 2, 3, catch. They ended up in the other hand. But I don't want you to get in the habit of counting 1, 2, 3, 4. The reason is because then you get stuck on a number. Instead, I want you to get in the habit of going 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, like a metronome. Now, there's a good way to practice this. Put your hands out in front, and everybody go wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off. Great, do that, do it, do it, do it, come on. Good, okay, great. Now, you get your 3 bags, 2 in 1 hand, and just go wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off. That's all there is to it. There's another move. There's always another move. This move is called columns, and we do it with 3 bags. You put 1 that you would identify in one hand, and 1 you can identify in the other hand, and the 3rd bag you put in front of your face, sort of like Princess Jasmine's veil, okay? Now you're going to throw that 1 straight up. When it gets up, you throw the other 2. So it's 1 and 2 and 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 1. It's a lot of work. That's what makes it fun. Now, you've got those 3 moves. You can do 2 in 1 hand. You can do the one that goes under, that's the cascade. And you can do columns that go straight up and down. Now it's time to learn the reverse cascade. I'll show it to you first, then I'll show you how you learn it. It looks like this. Over, 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 over. It's exactly the opposite of the cascade. With the cascade, you came out of the middle. With the reverse cascade, you go into the middle. Now, there's a way to practice that one too without any bags. Hold on to the other end of my double Dutch jump rope, okay? Good, got it? Okay, we're going to turn double Dutch together. Over and over. Now, open your palms. So this is a combination of wax on, wax off, and double Dutch, okay? And look at the top. Look at your hand at the top, right there, right there, right there, right there. Look at it, look at it, look at it, look at it. Now, get your 3 bags. Make a basket about this big up above your head. Now, get your 3 bags and put 1 in each hand and put the 3rd one out on the fingertips. And now you're going to start shooting baskets. Every time one goes in the basket, throw another one in on top of it. So it's throw one, throw the other, 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 over, 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 over. All that's left is to learn to go from one move to another without stopping or dropping. Oh, and if you do drop, forgive yourself instantly, because we say in juggling, a drop is a sign of progress. If you're not dropping, you're not learning. So you're gonna celebrate your drops. Go, yay, I dropped. All right, here's how it goes. We're gonna do the transitions now. So I'm gonna start with 2 in 1 hand. And then without stopping or dropping, I'm gonna go to the other hand and do 2 in the other hand. Then without stopping or dropping, I'm gonna go to columns. Without stopping or dropping, I'll go to the cascade. And then I'll go to the reverse cascade. And now I'm ready for moving on to a heavier object. Once you can do all of that, plus the transitions, then you're ready for the next step. Now this was bag-a-ling. The next step is sock-a-ling. Sort of recycling. Everything that we're doing is recycling, by the way. The bags, we're going to end up in the landfill. The socks, those are those unmatched socks that come out of the dryer, and your mom says, "Where's the other sock?" And you say, "I don't know." And she says, "Well, I can't find it." So you've got a bunch of those. I had a bunch of those. And so what you do is you fill them with grain. Now, you don't fill them all the way up. You just put a measured amount. Now, what I measured for my grain was about 3.5 ounces of a dry measure. Dry is important. Don't cook the grain first. These are black beans. I'll show you what you do. You take your corn, or it could be dry corn, you know, the cracked corn like you feed to the birds. It could be rice. In my case, it's black beans. And you pour it into your sock and make sure it's the same amount in each one. And then you don't tie it off. Instead, you wrap the sock around your fingers like this. Don't wrap it so tight you can't get your fingers out. But then you pull your fingers out and tuck the cuff of the sock over the ball. Now you got a perfectly good juggling ball. You didn't have to go to the store, because you're not supposed to right now. And so now you want to finish it off. You can, if you wish, put a piece of tape over the mouth of it so that it stays shut. I'll use this painter's tape, but it doesn't matter what tape. And you don't have to put a lot of it on. Just one piece is enough. Okay, so now I've got a sock ball. It took a minute to make, and this whole thing takes maybe an hour to learn and a lifetime to forget. So I hope you really enjoy it. Now, here's how you start. Let's start with this one because I just made it. I'm going to do that infinity sign again, but now instead of doing it in slow motion with my palms out, I'm going to do it in faster motion with my palms up. So you're going to drop a lot, but it's okay. Remember, yes, that's right. A drop is a sign of progress. Okay, so I'm going to scoop under, and it's going to go to a peak. So there's a peak on this side, and there's a peak on that side. So reach up and touch those two peaks. Here, I'll do it myself here. Reach up and touch those two peaks. There they are. They're at the same height on both sides. It's very important that they be at the same height. You don't want one down here and one up there. They got to be the same height, okay? So then take your first sock ball, scoop it under, scoop it back, scoop it under, scoop it back. That's all there is to it. Now, once you can do that with one, you're ready for two. So with two sock balls, you put one in each hand, hold your palms up as if you're carrying a tray, okay? Like that. Now, you're going to scoop one under. When it gets up, you scoop the other. So it's scoop, scoop, catch, catch. Now, I know it's very tempting. You want to go throw, push, throw, push, throw, push. Remember, only throwing, no pushing. Throw, throw, catch, catch. Throw, throw, catch, catch. Once you can do that, then you're ready for number 3. So I'll get the third sock ball. Now I'm going to start with 2 in one hand, just like we did with the bags. Start with 2 in one hand, and I'm going to make X's with my throws and look at the top. Every time a sock ball gets to the top, I throw another one. So it's under, 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 under. That's the cascade. That's that first move. You can do it. Now, here are the problems. Some people throw forward instead of on an angle to the side. They go like this. So if you find yourself going forward, just imagine that you're on the edge of a cliff and look down. Oh my God, I don't want to step off of that thing. Just imagine you're on the edge of a cliff, and when you juggle, you don't want to go off the cliff. So side to side, side to side, side to side, side to side. If you have trouble with that, then take your 2 hands and go under, 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 a whole bunch until you're used to that, because it's that side-to-side motion that makes you into a juggler. Now, you can do the cascade. Start with the hand that has 2. Learn how to start it from your left hand. Learn how to start it from your right hand. Learn how to start it with either hand. And then you'll be ready to move on to the next move. The next move is the second move we learned with the bags, and that is columns, straight up and down. But before you try it with 3, try it with 2 in one hand. Now, when you do 2 in one hand, very important, you want to throw them up so they're parallel to each other. So each one has its own pathway, like two elevator shafts, okay? So you've got one over here and one over there, okay? One here, one there, one here, one there. Now, once you can do that, then you can start circling to the outside, 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 outside. And you circle to the inside, 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 inside. And once you can do all of that, do it in your other hand. Because in juggling, you've got to transfer everything you learn with your smart hand into your not so smart hand. But it's quick. If you learn it with your dominant hand first, you can do it with your non-dominant hand. Now, once you've got all of that, then you can do columns straight up the middle with one and up the sides with two. So I'm going to throw one up the middle and two up the side, one up the, progress. One up the middle and two up the side, one up the middle and two up the side, one up the middle and two up the side. So that's all there is to it. Now, what's the next move? Duh, the next move is reverse cascade. So again, just start with one and throw it over the top. Over, over, down the middle, down the middle. Now, you're going to, again, make a basket, but your basket's going to be a little smaller this time. It's not big like this, it's small. And you shoot a basket and shoot a basket and shoot a basket with one. Then take two and go shoot, shoot, catch, catch, shoot, shoot, catch, catch, shoot a basket, shoot a basket. Now, try your other hand. Shoot, shoot, catch, catch, shoot, shoot, catch, catch. Then with three, just like everything else, start with a hand that has two, scoop it over, scoop it over, scoop it over, and keep shooting baskets. So here's what mine looks like. Over, 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 over. So then you can do cascade that goes under. You can do two in one hand. And you can do columns that go straight up and down. Now learn the transitions. You go from cascade to reverse cascade, to columns, and onto the floor. So, you've got the basics of juggling. I want to give you more juggling. I want to give you a lot more juggling. I want to give you an infinite amount of juggling. And the way we do that is with our DVDs. So, many years ago, I must say, many years ago, I made some DVDs. They started out as videos. In fact, they started out as film. And then they went to video, then they went to DVD. This one is for little guys. It's called Juggle Time. And it's 2 hours, and it's 46 2-minute juggling songs. And when this came out in 1984, it won a Parents' Choice Award and 11 other national awards. So it's highly esteemed, a very respected instructional video, and you can get it at our Indiegogo campaign. I didn't mention that yet, but very important. Green Actioneers is my new job. I used to be called Professor Confidence, and I used to go to schools and teach kids how to juggle. But just before this COVID-19 crisis hit, I decided I was going to be Professor Green and go to schools and teach kids about going green, about what's happening with the climate, but mostly about how to save money, how to save energy, and how to have a nice, clean, green future. So that's my next job, is to be Professor Green, and I'll tell you all about that in a minute. But first, let's finish with the juggling. So you can get the 2-hour Juggle Time musical instructional video for little kids. Or if you're not a little kid, if you're an older kid or an adult, then you can get our much more mature Juggling for Success, Juggling Step by Step 2-hour instructional video DVD. And it's not as childish, and it doesn't only do, neither of them just does bags and scarves. They both go through juggling with balls and rings and clubs and devil sticks and diablos and spinning plates and this thing called cigar boxes that W.C. Fields used to do. So it's all in there. So whichever way you go, either with the little kids version with the songs or with the more straightforward instructions with the older kids version, you can do it. And we also have just the music from this DVD on CD, so you can get it on CD. So those are all available, and where they're available is at the Green Actioneers Indiegogo campaign. And that's going to start on Earth Day, and it's going to run through Mother's Day, that's May 10th, to Father's Day, that's June 20th. So somewhere in that period, please go there and get it. Now, I want to show you one more thing you can get there. This is really important. This is what Green Actioneers is all about. It's a book. Now, yeah, I know, you say, we don't do books anymore. Yes, you're going to do this one, because this one is not just for you. It's for the whole family. It's called the Green Actioneers Workbook. And here's how it works. First, it's a book that tells you how to take steps to go green. And it's in English, and it's going to be in Spanish. We haven't translated it yet, but we're going to do that, thankfully, during the period of the Indiegogo campaign. And it's got a coloring book section for little kids, and it's got word games for older kids. It's either a word search, or it's a crossword puzzle, or it's a word scramble. So one of those, and you'll find lots of things that you can do. And a lot of these things don't cost you any money. A lot of these things are just suggestions for ways to have a cleaner, greener life. Like this one, buy at thrift stores. Well, that makes sense. And we tell you how to dispose of your fabric, because that's a big problem in the world. How do we get rid of all this fabric we've got? So there are lots of things that we can tell you in here that'll be helpful. And some of these things you're probably going to do anyway. But here's one. This is a nice coloring book page. It's about applying film to your windows. It says, applying film to cut the rays will make for more comfortable days. And so you can color this page, and then you can go to your grown-up and say, hey, this is important. Let's do this together. And then what we say is, let's all go green in quarantine. So while you're in quarantine, you can go green. So here's how you do all of that. First, you start with Green Actioneers at the Indiegogo page. And the Indiegogo, it's not there yet, unless you're seeing this after April 22nd, which is Earth Day. But it's going to go up on Earth Day, and it's going to stay up until Father's Day, and then it's going to come down. So somewhere in that period, you can go and you can get any of those things I just showed you, but another thing that you can get. If you're sick and tired of plastic bags and you don't want to hear that crunchy, crunchy sound, I've got nylon juggling scarves, and these are made in the USA. I think you'll love them. And they're only going to be $5 a set for 3 of them. So you'll be able to get these at that site as well. It's quieter than the bags. Actually, it's a little more precise than the bags. So you can do your Bag-a-ling with scarves. You can call it scarf-a-ling. Okay. So I'm Dave Finnegan, formerly known as Professor Confidence, now known as Professor Green, and I'd love to meet you in your school once we're able to come out into the community. But meanwhile, everybody practice your juggling with the plastic bags, that's Bag-a-ling, and with the socks, that's Sock-a-ling, and have a great time doing it. And then don't forget, very important for you to go to Indiegogo sometime between, that's right, Earth Day, and that's right, Father's Day, and get your juggling stuff, and give us some love, give us some support. Thanks a lot. I'll see you out on the highway. I'm Professor Confidence, also known as Professor Green. Bye-bye.